move right along, and Denise introduce herself and take the podium.
Hi, everyone. I'm Denise Duffield. I am the Associate Director at Physicians for Social Responsibility, Los Angeles. And I also am on the facilitating group in the task force of the Back from the Brink campaign. I am going to try to share some slides while I talk here. See if I can get this to work. I can, but now I have to make this bigger. And I want to also say thank you for inviting me to be here, and it's been fantastic to hear all of the presentations, and I'm also really excited to see so many people who worked on Back from the Brink resolutions throughout the country here and participating. The workshop that we had just a while ago was awesome. So what is Back from the Brink? Back from the Brink is a national initiative that is seeking to fundamentally change U.S. nuclear policy. It is not owned by any particular group or individual. It began in 2017, initially conversations with Physicians for Social Responsibility and Union of Concerned Scientists, and then other groups came on board in the creation of it. Soka Gakkai, Nuclear Age Peace Foundation, United Church of Christ, the Outrider Foundation. We also, Veterans for Peace, Pax Christi have also been some of the groups, and of course, Peace Action, really involved in this campaign. The heart of it is 5 policy solutions to reduce and prevent the threat of nuclear war. And what attracts me and why I'm so involved in it is its organizing model. It really helps local advocates seek organizational and endorsements, local government endorsements in their area that can then directly impact federal policy. As a local organizer working on nuclear weapons is not is challenging sometimes. And this has really proven to be such an effective popular education and organizing tool. And I'll talk about that as I go along. So, whoops, actually I did not mean to do that. So as we work on the endorsements and the resolutions, we're both helping to build public support at the same time that we are helping to demonstrate to members of Congress and federal leaders that there is support for U.S. nuclear policy to be reformed. What are the policies? Back from the Brink advocates these common sense policy solutions. They are not meant to be, they have numbers by them, but they are not meant to be sequential. The heart of it is number 5. The heart of it is actively pursuing, calling on the United States to lead a global effort to actively pursue a verifiable agreement among nuclear armed states to eliminate their arsenals. The other 4 steps help take down the temperature and reduce dangers, and that is renouncing the option of using nuclear weapons first, ending the sole unchecked authority of any US president to launch a nuclear attack, taking nuclear weapons off of hair trigger alert, and canceling the plan to replace our entire arsenal with enhanced weapons. In terms of organizations that have come on board, quite a diverse group. We have now 354 groups that have endorsed, coming from all backgrounds: health, policy, faith, environment, justice, peace, and this is just a sample of some. If you haven't yet endorsed, our website is preventnuclearwar.org. Again, preventnuclearwar.org. Please do. It really, really helps us grow this. And to date, we have 49 municipal resolutions that have been adopted and 6 state legislative bodies that have adopted resolutions. And the resolutions are generally all have the 5 policy points. Some of them also include, over 30 of them also specifically call on the United States to embrace the treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons. And one thing that's really cool about doing that is that then that city or municipality or state becomes also part of ICANN city's appeal. So here are some pictures of Back from the Brink in action while I talk a little bit more about why I find this such an exciting campaign. We hear over and over again from policymakers that they're not hearing a lot from their constituents about this. It is time we heard it, Congressmember Blumenauer last night on PSR Oregon and Washington said, wherever I go, I don't hear a lot of enthusiasm about this. And part of the reason is that people don't know. We have a lot of heavy lifting to do in terms of informing people about nuclear threats and engaging them in policy solutions. And Back from the Brink is providing an important tool to be able to do that, starting with local leaders. So we have, on one hand, we're able to use the resolution as a tool to organize organizations in our area. Instead of just calling up a group, whether it's a Rotary Club or a veterans group or a justice group, and saying, I want to talk to you about nuclear weapons. We should, you're progressive. We feel the same way about, financial priorities. We have something very specific to talk to people about and to organize them around. And then when we go to local governments, it's really pretty amazing. If you're used to doing lobbying pretty much only on the federal level and seeing the stony faces or the whoever you get, just the staffer you get assigned to, just going, I'll pass along your concerns, to see that there's an incredibly different reaction many times in local government that you maybe would not expect. And so we've been able to see city council members, state legislators, be really moved by what they hear. And a lot of it depends on how you craft your resolution, and become aware of this issue and want to engage with it. All of the resolutions include in them that local body will send it off to their congressional delegation and to the president. The other thing is that we as advocates then can use our Back from the Brink efforts to demonstrate real support. So instead of going to Adam Schiff and saying, this public opinion poll says that 70% of people support nuclear abolition, we can go and say, hey, these cities in your district, these organizations in your district have all signed on to this. The cities have even taken the time to consider it, to debate it, to vote on it. And I think that really helps us demonstrate in a different way that constituents want to see action on this issue. We have on our website advocacy tools. There's a sample resolution there that folks can use and can modify for their region. If you have a nuclear weapons production facility near you, you might want to include that. If you have you want to talk more about the financial impacts, we have a nuclear cost project at PSRLA where you can calculate how much your city or your municipality is spending in tax dollars on nuclear weapons every year. That tends to get a lot of attention. Another thing, so this is an example of Baltimore, which was the first major city to adopt a resolution, and really brought home the connection between this issue and local concerns. We also, the other thing that's important about crafting the resolution is meeting people where they're at. If folks are concerned in your area, or your city council is concerned about climate change, racial justice, health, the environment, or morality or faith, you can create whereas sentences that will be received better, not just by your local government, but also by the folks that you're working with. And so on this page of our website, you can click more and learn more about some of these intersections. In the case of Los Angeles, I worked on both the Los Angeles City Council's resolution and the state of California's resolution. Climate was huge, and so was social justice and racial justice. And so we made sure when we crafted it to include whereas statements that made those connections. And again, I mentioned that one of the benefits of the campaign really is being able to get to know your neighbors and to reach out to groups that you work with and that you sometimes don't. So here, this is our Los Angeles effort. We had students, we had veterans, we had Habakasha, we had an interfaith group, we had a social justice group, a climate group. And it was, it's really powerful when you bring together these different voices. And so again, it was another pretty awesome result. And the goal is, of course, to stay connected with the folks that you meet, to be reciprocal, to support other groups' efforts, and to keep those relationships going as you continue to do this work. I'm not sure if this map is updated or not, but if you need help reaching out to allies, you can contact us. We've got an interactive map on the website that shows where endorsing groups are at, where resolutions have been adopted, where they're in progress. And we've got great Alex Jass that works with me, and he's very quick on answering folks and can help connect you to other folks, can help you work on your resolution. I also wanted to call out just a couple of common objections that we get frequently, that it doesn't sound or to city or town business, or it's just a resolution, or we're not experts. And each time these come up, I've been really impressed to see the proponents of the resolutions making strong arguments that are necessarily ones that we don't even have to make ourselves. And here's one from Dover, New Hampshire, which is basically, you know, if we don't find a way to make our concerns known about this, there won't be a city to govern. And of course, cities are the targets of nuclear weapons. And there's the resolutions, as I mentioned, are sent directly to the congressional delegates. And of course, this is not supposed to be a one-off. You get your resolution, you're done. We want to know about, so we continually find out about resolutions that we didn't know about. Please let us know about your resolution or your effort, how we can help, and take photos. That's harder now that we're in COVID. And it's also really, really important to thank elected officials. We really were urging people last week, for example, for the over 30 some resolutions that specifically included support for the treaty and the prohibition of nuclear weapons, to write back to the council member who championed it, thank them, tell them there's movement happening. Every time, you know, we do have something to celebrate, to make sure you let them know. And that's 10 minutes. So I thank you for letting me share. There's lots more I'm sure I didn't get to, but I'm very happy to be here with you today.
Thank you very much, Denise.